Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, citizens of all ages, welcome back to another edition Star Citizen 3.13.1 PTU. And I thought it would be a fun little experiment to see just how combat capable the Hercules Starlifter M2 is with a solo pilot. Now, I do want to preface this. I did do some component swap outs. I currently have two size 3 Blizzard coolers. I think I have a JS, 500 for the power plant, and I have an FR and a parapet for the shields. I also swapped out the two top guns from Revenant Ballistics to Rhino laser repeaters. You might see some footage kind of sped up, and I did that in the interest of time and brevity. I did slow it back down when it comes to the actual combat. Now, first up, we're going up against an M50, a very fast little fighter. However, the Hercules actually has some pretty darn good maneuverability for a ship its size. Now, keep in mind, I do not have cargo in this ship. Not sure if cargo will actually impact the performance, the maneuverability, but just thought I would preface that. The only thing that I've changed are the components and the used weapons. Now, considering the fact that it does have pilot-controlled weapons, thank God, this makes it a big contender for one of my favorite ships, especially considering the maneuverability and just the sheer amount of cargo and open space that are in the cargo hold. Not only that, but Ballista owners rejoice. You now have a vehicle that will easily transport that missile boat of a vehicle. Doing a quick look around, doing a couple of neat little, shots, when all of a sudden, out of the blue, I start getting attacked by a eclipse. So, figured that would be a perfect time to go on the offensive. I was doing bounty hunter missions, and the reason why I decided to do that was somebody in chat laughed at the Hercules being used as a bounty hunter ship. So I thought, let's see who will exactly have the last laugh, and let's put it to the test. Now, again, because it is a large ship, it's not going to be as maneuverable as a dedicated fighter, but where it does lack in maneuverability is where it excels in firepower. I do have to say I am pleasantly surprised with how nimble and capable the Hercules Starlifter is, and I have a sad, sneaking suspicion that will be nerfed. Probably sooner than later, but hopefully this is actually the intended performance of the Hercules, because if so, hell yeah. That makes me really excited for the future, because although it doesn't have as much firepower that it comes to bear as like the Starfarer or the Starfarer Gemini, it's more nimble. So yeah, it has half the amount of weapons, but I would say arguably it has double the maneuverability. Keeping that in mind, if you were to have a co-pilot as well as a gunner, I think you could be pretty damn combat capable. That actually really makes me interested to see just how the A2 will perform. Granted, with the A2, it is the dedicated bomber version. Not like a torpedo boat like the Retaliator or the Eclipse. Although I don't think you call it a torpedo boat, the Eclipse, I mean, because it only has 3. But you know what I mean. The A2 will have essentially dumb bombs or gravity reliant bombs. Not sure if it's going to have the capabilities to change that out and have more like missile stuff, but I know it does have bombs. Correct me if I'm wrong down below, which I very well may be, because I am not up to snuff on the A2, as the M2 was the thing that more appealed to me and my combat and play style. Now, coming up again on another bounty, you are going to see, now this is in double speed, so it's not traveling this fast in reality. This is actually at 2 times the speed. Just wanted to preface that in case you see this and say, hey, that's ridiculous, that thing is way too fast. Here is now where we are at 1 time speed. So this is the actual speed that it is going. So we're coming up on a Mustang Delta now. Again, having those 2 size 4s coming to bear on the Delta, already blowing pieces of it off. So much so you can see the pilot is actually standing when talking to me. Yeah, he must be pretty freaked out. Now, I'm not sure what happened there. I think he might have either slammed into something or there was some lag in the netcode and I actually killed him before he passed me and it just took a second for it to caught up. Either way, you can see that the Hercules M2 does have some pretty good performance in a fight. Now again, this is PvE, or, you know, against AI. Had I been going up against other players, chances are I would be getting my ass whooped. They would probably be mopping the floor with me, even if they were in, you know, a Delta or an Eclipse, just because those are by default way more maneuverable. They're a much smaller target. Go up against a player who knows what they're doing, and you're going to have a bad time. Okay. So this is speaking specifically from a player versus AI standpoint. Again, I'm sure maybe if you had a co-pilot as well as the dedicated gunner seat filled, who knows? Because then you would have the cover for the back and the underside, as well as the second set of dual size 4s in the chin weaponry. Now, just for ha-has, I did swap out the chin weaponry as well to rhinos, because I wasn't sure if I would be able to get a co-pilot to come along with me, and I do plan on using this ship a little bit more. Granted, we are, like I said, in the PU, so chances are might not be able to get somebody in there during this play time, but again, better have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Again, now we are looking at 2 times sped up video. Again, just to kind of preface the fact, this is not actual speed, it is going faster. I wanted to include this as well just because I figured it's kind of neat to see it flying around and, you know, give it some more special looks and, you know, give the love to the Hercules that I think it deserves, because the ship is really growing on me. Crusader is fast becoming one of my favorite ship manufacturers, especially with all the extra lights and buttons, and, you know, hopefully those will all continue to work outside of the PTU. As if you were in the PTU when the MSR first came up, you will remember all the buttons in the ship worked until it went to live. So, fingers crossed, here's hoping. Not holding my breath, but still being a little bit optimistic. Now, one thing that I did find odd is the range in which it starts picking up objects. So right here, that seemed a little too close for my liking. Granted, it is an Eclipse, so maybe that is just part of the stealth aspect of it, but I feel like the previous Eclipse, I was able to pick up a lot closer. Now with that, because I was going straight head-on with it and I was able to keep weapons purely centered on it, I was able to knock it out much faster. Now with this M50 on the other hand, this guy, he must have been you know, a competent or a dangerous pilot. For all my elite dangerous pilot commanders out there, you'll know what I'm talking about. Because this guy was much more nimble. He did a much better job keeping out of my forward-facing fire. Now, again, this was not a player, this was an AI. Just commenting on the fact that this guy had a little bit more survivability instinct, if you will. You know, he wasn't so suicidal, wasn't such a kamikaze. I do hit a little bit of network lag here, though. As you see, he rubber bands back and forth. That's to be expected, as it is the PTU. But again, oh, and he must have been having a nuclear fusion engine on board because that was pretty bright. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm pleasantly surprised with the Hercules right now. I would expect that they're probably going to nerf it. I hope they don't, as I do, again, hope this is the intended performance. Other than that, I think I'm going to leave the video here. If you like this video, please leave a like. Don't forget to leave a comment. Tell me which one is your favorite Hercules ship. Do you have one of the Star Lifters? Do you have the C2, the A2, the M2? Let me know down below. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. I hope all you beautiful bastards out there, you have yourselves a wonderful day, morning, evening, whenever, wherever you just so happened to be. This has been Will, Day Late Gamer, signing out. Love, peace, chicken grease. I do have to say the Hercules is a pretty nice ship. I'm excited. I can't wait to see the A2. Hopefully, it has just as much cool shit to offer, because if so, might have to melt something and add that to my fleet.